And the president has come to say those who cannot endure and accept the pain of defeat in elections do not deserve the joy of victory. This is the president's address to the nation. President Bola Tinubu gave a speech to celebrate the 30th anniversary, yes, of the June 12, 1993. I tell you, I can't believe it's 30 years already. 1993. So a child born in 1993 is already 30 years. Now, the president, who urged Nigerians to sacrifice little more for the survival of the country, stated that Nigerians must never take democracy for granted, as Chief MKO Abiola, who won the election, sacrificed his life for it. On the conduct of the 2023 election, the president said those who cannot endure and accept the pain of defeat in elections do not deserve the joy of victory when it's their turn to triumph. And also say the nation will traverse the dark, thorny path of dictatorship before, and those who experience it can readily testify to the unbridgeable gap between the dignity of freedom and the humiliation and degradation of tyranny. Through rancorous debate, interminable wrangling, ceaseless quarrels, bitter electoral contestations may be perceived by some as unattractive features of democracy, but they also testify to its merits and value. And the president said this year, it's the seventh in the cycle of elections that have become sacred rituals for the democratic practice in the dispensation since 1999, and that the polls were intensely contested is in itself position evidence that democracy is well and alive in the land. He also said it is only natural that even those who won and experienced victory in the various elections are elected and fulfilled. And those who lost are disenchanted and disappointed. But the beauty of democracy is that those who win today can lose tomorrow, and those who lose today will have an opportunity to compete and win in the next round of elections. And those who cannot endure and accept the pain of defeat, he says, do not deserve the joy. And this is coming so repeatedly. And above all, those who disagree with the outcome of the elections are taking full advantage of the constitutional provisions to seek redress in court. And this is one of the reasons why democracy is still the best form of government invented by man. That's the speech of the president today on the occasion of June 12, Democracy Day. He has also said, since he hailed the winner of the June 12, 1993, because this is where it all started, the June 12 celebration, and making it a Democracy Day to commemorate Democracy Day, of course. And then we cannot take out Chief MKO Abiola when we talk about the June 12. He described the late businessman who died in suspicious circumstance after his election was annulled by the late General Sani Abacha as the symbol of democracy. And the president acknowledged the hardship being faced by Nigerians in the aftermath of the fuel subsidy removal, because today, until today, the June 12 is not going to take away the fact that subsidy is gone. And he has said that his administration will reward the sacrifice of Nigerians, and also with massive investment in transportation infrastructure, education, regular power supply, healthcare, and other public utilities that will improve the quality of our lives. Yeah, because I'm a Nigerian too, so let me say our lives, because here it is put their lives. No, our lives. And you would understand if we see other sectors and aspects growing and booming, especially power supply, transportation system, we know that we won't even feel all over the impact of fuel subsidy removal. So at this juncture, I will tell you that this statement from the presidency. Of course, it's easier said than done, but at least we can hold him by his words. He's come to say, I know this is biting hard on us as a people, and if we look to other sectors and improve them, you won't even feel that you won't even remember there's something called fuel subsidy removal. And we look forward to those moments and days. It's still STJ 97.4 FM this morning. And how are you feeling about today, June 12th? Let's hear from you. How do you feel about today being June 12th? 30 years, counting, 24 years for broken democracy. And I would want to point this out. When I say something, I don't like to be, misinterpreted. At the beginning, I said, we might have encountered 24 years of unbroken democracy, but we have been broken as a nation. And what I meant is this. When I say we have been broken, there is no one in this country, especially the masses, that had not come to a time or a period where you didn't give up on this nation, where you tell yourself that nothing good can come out from this country anymore, because this is it. Like, something happened this year, you'd be like, maybe there's hope. And I am not talking of just this year. I'm talking of, since we had it 24 years back. You think, well, it's getting better, and something happened, you'd be like, what kind of country is this? It's almost, we feel like this nation is irredeemable. And you leave that, and something else happened, you'd be like, Nigeria can never change. And we have had those moments in our lives, you and I, trust me. And this is why I said we've been broken as a nation, because a nation, we can't have a nation without the people. And you would realize that at a point in time, either you work for the government or you don't, either you take from the government or you don't, you would have come to a place where you know that for Nigeria to change, or for we to experience the change we all yearn for, even though some of us are also taking a vote against this nation by our actions and the things we do. And when I say we take a vote against our country, is when we are, clamoring for change, but we ourselves are not, putting the little efforts we can to see the change. Be the change in your home, be the change in your streets, be the change at your place, your work. But you yourself, there's this, you're diversifying funds, you're turning, numbers, you're changing numbers, you're doing things, and now you think the thing you're doing is less harmful to what people are at the top are doing. You're changing figures, they are changing figures. You're you're diversifying funds, they're diversifying funds. So what's the difference? It's the same thing, it's just on different level. So that's why I say, if you want to see the better Nigeria get better, I hope in your little corner you're doing what's right, at least. And if you say, well, this small money that I want to take, it won't affect anybody now, it won't destroy this country. After all, we hear every day EFCC, ICPC announce that somebody, and Ibrahim Babangida made this known in an interview, I think, and he had come to say that, of course, he was the one who annulled the election and adjourned the freest and fairest poll in the country. And the former head of state said he took the decision to annul the election in the interest of the country. That's his stance. And speaking through Kashim February's media aide, Babangida said, although Nigeria's democracy has recorded some growth, that there are still many grounds to be covered. And now Babangida has said, until today, democracy has been threatened by toggery in politics, too many litigations and too many issues that transparent elections ought to have addressed. And Babangida decried increasing voter apathy, attributing it to the trust deficit between the people and their leader. He said June 12 should naturally encourage more voters to endorse democracy. an election, but the turnout during the election is gradually declining. And he said, vote apathy, that's the more reason why something must be done and to ensure mass participation in election. IBB also said Nigerian can get it right if leaders invest their time and resources in deepening democratic ideals, and that the country democracy is getting more and more older. I tell you, and democracy has come to stay, because despite its imperfections, we can still get our act together to correct some of the issues and continue on that trajectory. So to sum all of this, IBB has said why, the 20 June 1993 and June 12 election of that year was annulled was for or in the interest of the nation. So to this end, I say this is where I rested on June 12 and all of the things that happened after 1993, June 12, and why we have continued to mark that particular day as Democracy Day in the nation. I hope we'll see and experience true democracy as the year run by, especially now that a new government is in town and has hit the ground running. And we can say and talk, but we know there's much in the doing than the talking. The talking will not get us anywhere, but the doing will. So I hope we get to action. I hope we do all of the things that are needful to get real, true ideals of democracy, spread all across the nation. Because we can continue to hope and wait, but if we're not ready, honestly, our hopes will just be in the books. It will be in our bags, and it will never find light. And to this end, I hope that we rise up. We rise up in spite of all of the challenges that this country has faced since it embarked on this journey of democracy in the last 3 decades. I hope things get better for the sake of the future of this nation. So it's been an amazing time, talking about June 12 and the why we celebrate June 12 and all of that. I tell you, how do you feel about June 12? I've asked this before. Maybe I should just throw it open again before I go on the show this morning. How do you feel about today, June 12th? How do you feel about everything that has happened since 1993 and until now? Do you say we should continue to trust democracy until we, yield all of the dividends of it, or we should make a U-turn? What are your thoughts this